All right, looking at the DXY chart on the weekly, the moving averages. We've closed last week below the EMA 34, which is another first since this whole trend started. So certainly another crack in the ice. Now, there's not a whole lot of cracks you can be getting before you start to, go under for the bigger picture. So just keep that in mind. That's another major nail in the coffin. Cracks in the ice and nails in the coffin is what it's all about. So we'll see if we can recover here. Maybe if we get a rally. Look at the last week's rally, came all the way up to the EMA 21 before rejecting and closing back below the EMA 34. So that is a huge warning that this trend has peaked. Even if we come back up, I would not expect, based on this, I would not expect to put in a higher high. The DXY absolutely could have peaked right here at the end of September for maybe the next several years, maybe ever, right? We may never, there's no guarantees that it comes back up there. There's obviously no guarantees that we don't take that out within, mid-April or, mid next year. But, based on all the things brewing, it doesn't seem likely. I think it seems more likely that the peak is in. And if we do come back up, putting in a lower high, based on, ending a bull trend and starting a bear trend, this is kind of the signs that you'd be looking for. So having said that, let's zoom into our indicators. Looking at the ADX and the I, the last time we crossed weekly bearish was right here, April of 2021. That lasted, roughly 60 days, I believe. Let's take another measured move. Let's see, before we cross back, 63 days. So, right, 2 months. So, how about this time? We just crossed bearish, early November, November 7th. So, if we did something like that and rhymed again, we'd be looking, roughly the first week of January 2023. So, I would say if we don't, cross back bullish on the DXY by then, there's even a bigger case to be made for the DXY having peaked and starting its, bear market, which would likely also, looking back, right, a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll be able to know, right? Was that the peak? Was that the start of the bear market for the US dollar? Was that the beginning of, our bear market ending for crypto and the beginning of our bull market, right? Bull markets can really be very difficult to spot as they're happening. Obviously, always in retrospect, it's easy, right? So looking back at it now, I would say that there's a case to be made of this actually happening, this being the transition point. And, even if it is the start of our bull run for crypto, it could take a year really to, like we talked about earlier on the Gaussian channel, it could take a year for the majority of retail, the majority of people to really catch on and to really feel safe again, to come back in. That can take a year. Even though the bull market could be starting right now, we might not really know of it in a mass majority for upwards of 12 months, 6 months, probably at least. Maybe, I'll just end it there. So, just having said that, right, the signs are there of potentially the trend shifts